have not worked a full-time job since 2020, and I'm the happiest and healthiest I have ever been. But when I tell people that, there is a lot of shock, concern, disbelief. And here I am 3-4 years into living this way, and I still get the same reaction that I did when I said that I wanted to stop working and travel the world. Hello everyone, I'm Minnie and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to briefly talk about my history and how I ended up living such an unconventional lifestyle. And while in this day and age I don't think it's a very weird concept, especially with the rise of content creation, digital products, and everything in between, there's still this sense of, but you're doing something that's untraditional. Which made me think, well, what is a traditional lifestyle? And my definition of a traditional lifestyle is working 40 plus hours a week, living for the weekend, trying to get all your errands done and relaxation in at the same time, and praying that at the end of it all, you have enough money to go on the 2-week vacation that you've been dreaming of, only to come back to work and do it all over again for another year. And I know that sounds dramatic, but that was my version of a traditional life, and it was incredibly depressing. On paper, I was super successful, yet showing up every day, doing the same thing over and over again, feeling like I don't have enough money or time to do the things that I actually want to do, left me miserable. And I didn't want to live that way anymore. And then 2020 came. And I'm not gonna lie, I crashed out. There were days in which I could not fathom getting out of bed. This is even, working from home. Like, I could not sit there and work all day and hear my messenger go off all day any longer. And it came down to deciding something's gotta go. Either my lifestyle but let's just say lifestyle lost. And I decided that I was going to travel. I have not worked a full-time job since 2020. And as an animation producer, very successful on paper. I have worked with teams that some people only dream of working with, and they are all incredibly amazing, talented people, yet I no longer felt fulfilled at my work. Which is really sad because what drew me to animation was the creativity behind it. I loved how you can create an entire world out of nothing, out of just a thought in your head and a team of people, and you get these grand productions straight to your TV. But in doing that for many years, I realized one day that I had not brought my own vision to life. And when I decided to quit animation for good, many people in my life thought I was insane for walking away from this successful career I had built. To this day, people still ask me if I miss it because I could be making well over 6 figures if I had stuck it out. And there was a lot of fear in myself too that I had to push aside, because it's a scary thing, working so hard for a goal, reaching the goal, and finding out that it's not what you thought it was, it's not what you wanted, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. So as I lay there on the floor in my home, trying to think of a new vision for my life and what I wanted and what was important to me, the only thing I could think of doing was traveling and having fun and experiencing hobbies. In 2021, I moved to Korea for almost 3 years, living an unconventional life as a creative, life as a multi-passionate whatever you want to call it. I prefer visionary. Has a lot of ups and downs, but it also comes with a lot of benefits, like freedom and flexibility. When thinking about how I wanted to live my life and what I wanted it to look like, I wanted to be able to get on a plane when I wanted to. I wanted to spend my afternoon in a random park just because it was a nice day outside. I wanted to get back into hobbies and writing. I wanted to spend 4 hours with myself in the morning, taking my time before I ventured out into the world, avoiding useless meetings, office microaggressions, macroaggressions, and everything in between. Really, what I wanted was a life without the grind, without the hustle, without neglecting myself to feel successful. And here we are, 4 years later. I still have not worked full time. I lived in Korea. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Vietnam. And my first trip of 2025 is already in the works. I've discovered new passions like language learning and baking sourdough. And I've rekindled old passions. I write a lot more and I read a lot more. Things I never really had time or mental space to do when I was working full time. I do understand people's concerns when they find out that I have zero plans to return to office life. My biggest fear in life at one point was not having a steady paycheck. But I had a vision. So I've learned how to budget, I've learned how to save, and most importantly, what was that? And most importantly, I have learned to create my own opportunities. And if something is not working and I fail, I will just try something else. There's always options. And when I feel really uncertain about a path or a decision, and I can't seem to shake the notion that I might be making a wrong choice, then I consult my respected counsel. I keep a steady group of friends who will tell me the truth. I have such great friends who are so supportive of me, who have known me since before I became a non-traditional kind of person. So they know my achievements, they know me. They will help me brainstorm ideas. They will tell me if I'm not dreaming big enough. And they sometimes know about resources that I don't and will help point me in the right direction. And I am very confident in my ability to find quick one-off jobs. I have learned new skills like SEO, content creation. I learned business jargon for businesses I've never even heard of. And no matter what challenges come my way, I just think about going back to working a 9 to 5. And nothing motivates me or pushes me forward more than that thought, because I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I wish I could tell you that living this lifestyle, I have become this independent boss woman that doesn't take no for an answer. To be honest, I was always like that. That's how I got so far at such a young age. So in my journey of leaving the hustle and bustle of the workforce, I have actually found a softness that I had not previously known. I am able to ask for help, receive help, expect help from strangers just because, and every day is now an adventure. I have so many stories of me just walking out of my house in South Korea and then ending up at a stranger's house or meeting somebody on the street who wants to talk to me and give me advice, wants me to meet their kids so they can practice their English. So I now have these days that always look different, but I'm always making genuine connections with the people around me. And I work when I want to and how I want to. I have plenty of time to just explore my passions and just follow my curiosity. If you would also like to leave the hustle and bustle of a 9 to 5, here are some tips for you. My first tip would be to start small. Maybe stop agreeing to work overtime, or start with setting more boundaries at work while you look for other opportunities. Whether it's a part-time gig where you're starting up your own business, but start small and have a few months worth of savings. I think the worst thing is to be stressed about where your next paycheck is coming from, but also feeling like you now have too much time on your hands. There is kind of like an adjustment period from working full time, somebody demanding your time at specific times, and you making your own schedule. There is honestly kind of a big gap, and I understand why some people don't like that transition. So I would say if you're going to quit your job, have like a rough schedule of something to do or something that you still show up for every day. So for example, I just started working part-time jobs that still had a schedule that was the same every week. I transitioned to Korea and I took classes there, so there were things I did have to show up for. Whereas right now, I'm just kind of in the wind doing what I want and making YouTube videos. Taking these steps and kind of spacing it out before I started doing anything and everything I wanted actually really helped, and I have a better understanding of how I like to work, what times I like to work, and what really works for me. My last tip is to trust yourself. If you are having this feeling of, this can't be it for me, then it's not it for you. There is something more you are meant to do, and unfortunately, sometimes it takes a while for us to find it. Overall, through this journey, I would say the thing I have learned and has been ingrained in my mind is that traditional does not mean successful. And while society still has this standard of success, that does not have to be your personal standard of success. Yes, having money helps in every situation, but I have also learned that you need a lot less money than you think you do. Even while taking part-time jobs, I am currently living my vision of a successful life. I take part-time jobs here and there. I'm building my business. I'm traveling the world. I'm learning 3 languages. And on the weekends, I bake sourdough bread and make my own homemade jam. I have never been happier than taking a step back from what I thought success was to now actually feeling successful. So let me know in the comments what your ideal lifestyle looks like. What does success mean to you? Start by jotting down what matters to you most, what qualities you want out of life, what fuels your passion, sparks your creativity, and I will see you next week. Thank you.